Aloha. Today is a big pleasure. I have a great friend, an invitation for great surfer, Australian friend, Luke Egan. I have a big respect for all the Australians. When I was young, I lived in Hawaii in 72 in a house with three great Australians. Ian Cairns, Mr. Kanga, Mark Warren, and Peter Townley. Great surfers, good time, and have one Peruvian too. And so I have the Australian in my heart, you know. So big pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, Rico. Thanks for the offer to come chat with you.
So I'm very stoked because the first time WSL let us do an interview with surfers that compete, you know. So I did with a lot of love, a lot of dedication, you know, and that's great. And you that listen to us in Aloha podcast, please play the sign and enjoy the ride and tell your friends to enjoy us, okay? We have Cia Duarte that sent it to you
cool.
a little Aloha for
Rico,
you.
Thanks very much. That's so cool.
If you want to open and see.
Yeah, unreal. That's cool.
It's Aloha spirit, a lot of love.
Yeah, unreal. Thanks so much.
And also, they send a little art for Chameleon. So if you want to take a look here.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Presents. I didn't know I was getting presents.
So you're going to remember the Brazilian boys.
Yeah. No, thank you. That's a beautiful gesture. I love it. Thanks very much.
You have these in case you want to put at the house.
Put it on the sign. Right? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Put there and then now we start.
Unreal. Thanks so much.
Well, I want to thank you very much. Gurume is a Japanese food. The best Japanese food maybe in Brazil. But it's hard to bring the Japanese food here with quality. So I just want to say thank you very much for Gurume. And unfortunately, we cannot serve you because, but when you go real, we can enjoy there.
Awesome, that'd be great.
Look, when you start surfing in Newcastle, right?
Yeah, I started surfing in Newcastle and Merriweather. About 9 years of age. I was a mad skateboarder until then. But lucky enough, I got the bug, and that was the end of it. Just surf all day from when I was a kid.
Very good. I think I have a bigger admiration for Australia because it's a beautiful country, very well organized, and I think the beach and the country is a little bit similar of Brazil. You know, the lifestyles, the beach. Do you think have any comparison? I'm wrong. I'm right.
No, you're right, Rico. Australia is very similar. A lot of the people love living on the coast, and the beach culture is very strong. Everyone enjoys to exercise at the beach and surf, and we have the lifesavers in Australia. There's all different things going on around the coastline, and I feel like Brazil's very similar. Everyone's passionate to be near the ocean and on the beach, which is fantastic. I think that's why we have so many things in common, and we really enjoy. I enjoy coming to Brazil because probably the culture. Different kind of culture mixed in with the beach. It's really good to see everyone enjoying the same things.
Right, and I think Brazil, we're going to get there. We're not organized as well as a country, as Australia. I think the stage of education about Australia, you guys are up in the front. But I hope Brazil one time, talking about we are maybe 220 million, 223 million. How many people lives in Australia?
I think it's only like 27 million, 26 million people in our whole country.
Yeah.
The thing with Australia, there's no one in the middle. It's really hot and it's desert, everyone lives around the coastlines. But Australia is the preservation of our beaches and there's a really good foundations that really make sure that the national parks that are on the beaches and the beaches are kept really good, and they're very organised and passionate about that, which as a surfer you have to be very grateful for those people that are passionate about keeping our playgrounds nice and clean and preserve them so that all the generations can use, down the line.
That's very good, and we're proud to be a surfers and raise this flag, about leave the ocean clean, take care of the nature, don't make the dirt, the beach dirt, So we surf, we're proud. WSL raise this flag too, to keep. And this is very important to keep for the young generation, and make sure we must to do that,
Yeah, for sure. It's like, my father's a surfer, and now I'm another generation, and there's already been plenty more generations after me, and we want that to carry on and let many more people enjoy the beach culture and surfing.
We're going to talk about your father. I know you have a lot of love, and he's a shaper. We're going to have a little while going to talk. I have a big admiration for Australia, for the surf clubs.
Yeah.
When I lived in 72, I think Michael Peterson lived with us in Velsley Land, the old house, and he was a great surfer, his style, quiet guy, and he's a great guy, and he talked about the clubs, I think every beach have a surf club, and with a very high style, and all the surfers from the place compete in between them, and then they go into state and then national, huh?
Yeah, the surfboard clubs in Australia is a huge culture for surfing, and when you're young, like when I was only 10, 12 years old, I went to Merriweather Surfboard Club and became a member, and used to have a contest every month, and was fantastic to mix with kids your same age, and then see the older guys as well. And it's a big part of why I think Australians are good competitive surfers, because we've all come up through the club situations, and it's really pushed Australian surfing to be where it is.
And I think too, a different thing in this club, because everybody is proud to be member of the club. Doesn't matter if you're amateur or if you are professional, if you're Simon or Mark Richard or yourself. They do with love, and they want to pass this experience for the young kids.
Yeah,
that's why it makes so strong.
For sure. Like, I was lucky enough to be in the Merriweather Surfboard Club, and Mark Richards is in that club also. And even the years that he was away going for world championships around the world, he'd come down on the Sunday and he'd even surf in the contest against the guys at the beach.
For a good time.
Yeah, for a good time, and to say hi. And sometimes you'd have, I remember when I was about 15 having a heat against Mark Richards, and he'd just won the world title. So that was so good for the inspiration for myself and other surfers like Matt Hoy, Simon Law, Nick Wood. Yeah, we all came from Merriweather, and we just looked at Mark Richards coming home from winning world titles, and that's what made us aspire to be professional surfers. So him coming and surfing in the club contests on the Sunday was one of the reasons I became a professional surfer, because I was just looking up at him and just like, oh wow, that's who I want to be, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, give a bit. I was Brazilian champion 72 and 73, and 72 was the world title, amateur, no professional this time, in California. Then I went there, I went to TV, they give me, I don't have money, the TV show give me a ticket, I go, I don't speak any English, don't know anybody, live in a garage, say, oh shit, I'm living 2 hours from the beach, hard to get into the beach, hard time, sleep in a garage, Then I meet the boys, Then I meet Randy Reich, and then I surf same heat with Mark Richards, and Andrew McKinnon too, And great Australians, Who are the old times in Australia about this time? I only remember, a lot of Hawaiians. But the Australians...
Yeah, around Mark Richards' era, some of my favourite surfers were Wayne Lynch.
Oh, man, Wayne Lynch.
Yeah, because I'm a goofy foot.
Jesus Christ. His backside is something, huh?
Yeah, I really loved watching Wayne Lynch. Mark Richards. Who else was there? We had Larry Blair.
Larry Blair.
Yeah. Who else was there? There was plenty. I'm trying to think. Ross Marshall. He was maybe a little bit younger.
Michael Peterson.
Michael Peterson, of course. There was so many great surfers from around there. PT, as you know, one of your good friends. Yeah, there was just all those guys that inspired me to be a professional surfer, and it was great times watching. Some of those guys had come back and come to Merriweather with Mark Richards too, and we'd get to see him surf the point at Merriweather.
Good time. After California, I was expecting California, good waves, a dream, and the waves was, oh shit,
Small.
about 2 foot, I said, oh my God, and who won was Jimmy Blears, her lifeguard,
Yes.
he went with the fish. Then I went to Hawaii and lived the house, crazy house in front of Cameland. Ian, PT, Mark Warren, and one Peruvian guy, and a good time, bro, and we looked sunset from the angle, when you look from the angle to the channel, always nice,
it always looks good from that side.
Good. Even when it's big, it looks easy, And I have a story very good. I don't no leash this time. Nobody tell me anything about how to go, which board. I have a California board really bad. One day, I went surf and was about 8 to 10 sets 12, big for me, the Brazilian crazy guy, And then I lose the board. And then I see one board in the channel, and in my heart, pow, 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 how am I going to get out of here? Then I saw the board. Hey, bro, I'm going to get this board. It was from a big Hawaiian, the guy from Hawaii, man. I got his board. I don't speak English, but I say, I'm going to kill you. I don't understand. I'm going to kill you. I don't understand, but I know it wasn't a good thing. What I mean? Then I get out to the water, and Craig come, and he was big Hawaiian.
So it wasn't your board?
No, I picked up the board
the
because
wrong one.
Somebody
else's
because
board.
I was scared to. I couldn't know the current. I don't know anything.
the currents.
And the guy come to me, hey bro, sorry bro, I was humbled. Say, I'm sorry, I wasn't there, and we became good friends. And he was too big to punch me out. And this time, 72, no bad vibes. Everybody.
Not many people either. I bet
good,
back
good
there.
Times,
Less people in Hawaii at that time. Yeah, that would have been fantastic to experience.
Yeah, good time. And Sunset was the place where everybody like Bruce Raymond, Terry Fitzgerald, Paul Nielsen, all the guys, man. And man, I cannot. You surf there too. Now Pipeline is their place, right?
Yes.
But before, if you don't surf Sunset good, you're not a good surfer.
Yeah, Sunset's a beautiful wave. It's like it can be so mean to you, but then it can be so good to you at the same time. Sometimes it can be hard to get a good wave, but then sometimes you paddle out and you get 2 or 3 really good ones really quickly, and then the rest of the day you don't get any. Like it's so shifty and hard to read. But I love surfing Sunset Beach. It's a real challenge for a surfer, and I think that I've had some fantastic waves there, and I think that, you're right. If you can surf Sunset good, you're a good surfer.
And I remember the Australian, I remember Bruce Raymond, he do the fade,
fade,
nobody do more this, huh? The boards were bigger, so you fade, for you guys don't know, is when you go to the right, you go to the left paddle and then make a beautiful curve. Terry Fitzgerald was the king too, huh?
Terry had a beautiful style, always really stylish and
with the beautiful boards.
Beautiful airbrushes on his boards. He made fantastic boards back in the day with I think Martin Worthington was the guy that did the sprays on the bottom, and they were good times. My dad used to sell hot-butted surfboards, Terry Fitzgerald's boards, in his surf shop as well. So I used to go there as a kid and see all the beautiful hot-butted surfboards.
Let's talk about your father. I know he's a great shaper, dedicated his life for this, no?
Yeah, my dad's been shaping now for, 60 years. So, and still shaping. He's 82 and he still goes.
How old is him?
82.
Wow.
And he still goes and shapes boards, But these days he really loves timber and wood, and he makes beautiful furniture, and yeah, even balsa boards at the moment. You can check him out at on Instagram at Sam Egan Surfboards.
Oh,
and
go look.
He posts he does veneered balsa surfboards.
It's an art, right?
Yeah, it's an art, and they're so beautiful, and he really enjoys the passion of just being in his woodwork shop. And even though he's 82, he'll go down in his shop at 8 a.m. and he won't come upstairs for dinner till 6 o'clock.
I think in life, besides you take care of, eat well, sleep well, have a surf if you're a sport, and have a desire to make a project. When you don't like your dad, he goes there, do his job, do his art. So this have a purpose to live. You know what I mean? When you don't do nothing, I think you get lost and lose appetite to live. Do you agree?
For sure. Like I really watch my dad do that, and I really take that on board. He's always very busy, and he's very good with his hands. Anything that he makes with his hands is always like beautiful art. But he's always got like 5 or 6 big projects going, and he's always thinking about it, and he's making things. And I think that's what's been great longevity for his life, because he just keeps moving. He doesn't want to stop. He's just like, one day I'll stop when I'm dead.
Yeah,
so I want to keep making things and keep busy and keep enjoying himself.
Yeah, so you have a desire,
Yeah.
I have one question for you that you probably, but I think this weekend, this week it's going to have a state origin games in Australia, and I think Queensland's going to win.
Yeah, I'm from New South Wales, and I'm proud New South Welshman, but Queensland have had good teams over the last nearly decade. So Queensland play good state of origin at the moment, but I still go for the Blues. I still go for New South Wales.
I like being surprised. I asked you.
Yeah. I'm sitting here in Brazil, and you start talking state of origin. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a big game, and it's this time of year, so everyone's loved to watch the football.
Yeah, because I was Jason is in my hotel. Yeah. And I interview you and say,
right.
Ask him that. I said, all right, because over here I like to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Enjoy life, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, state of origin. Queensland won the first, best of 3. Queensland won the first one. New South Wales have to win this one to make it go to 3. So, we'll all be watching from Brazil here to see who wins the second state of origin.
I hope good luck for your team, okay?
Thank you. Thanks, Rico.
Right. Talking about shaping, what kind of quiver do you do? You surf today?
I still ride just short boards. I ride, my normal board would be a 6.0 or 6.1 thruster. If you had told me when I was like in my late 20s that I'd be 54 and still riding a 6-foot board, I would have laughed my head off at you. I would have been like, no, I'll be on a longboard, or I'll be riding something big, thick.
But you're in good shape, bro.
Yeah, I've kept myself in pretty good shape, and I'm still really passionate about riding small boards. And it's funny, I finished my career and I had a few years off, not training too much, just taking it a little bit easier physically. But after about 3 years, it's probably the worst I ever felt, so physically and mentally. So I just started training again and surfing, trying to surf the best I possibly could. I think we do it for so long. Your body just is like, you slow down, your body goes, whoa, what are you doing?
Something's wrong.
What's the problem here? So, ever since then, I've just always training, go to the gym and make sure my body's in good shape.
I can't see. How old are you?
54.
Oh, good shape.
So I'm still really passionate. It still keeps me really happy to go for a good surf and surf well. And I think I've just for my life path, it keeps me happy doing this. So for as long as I possibly can, I'm just going to train to surf good.
Yeah, and I know your surf is very beautiful and radical. You was one of the most radical surfers in the tour at this time. Talk about this polished style and radical, because it's beautiful be radical. Like today the surfs, I like to see the guys who really hit the wave, do power and beautiful, under control.
Yeah, I think for me, even when I was very young, speed, power, and flow were three things that I'd always think about. And linking turns really good. I was always in my head about making sure turns look really good, but one turn coming out of that one and going into the next one really well. And I just living at the same beach as Mark Richards, I think we got to see him every day when he was home from the tour, and I think that had a lot to do with how even though I'm goofy foot and a little bit different, it has a lot to do with the way I surf. He was very smooth and radical, and it was just the way I always wanted to surf. He's just with speed, power, and flow, and
beautiful.
And I still kind of go for the same philosophy now. Is just fast and use my power and full clean turns.
Yeah, no, and that's why you have training beautiful and a lot of athletes. Parkinson, you did. Who you train?
Yeah, I started my coaching career with Joel Parkinson and helped him win a world title. My coaching career, funnily enough, started with Mark Occhilupo. We were on the tour together when he won the world title, and we used to coach each other.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we used to travel around the world on the tour and coach each other, and then it was kind of like I really enjoyed talking, and strategizing for, in that way. And then I started working with Joel Parkinson. And then, it just led to really enjoying, Rico, you know what it's like, all those years you're on the tour and you keep all your strategies and all your knowledge to yourself because you're in a competitive environment. It's so nice to go and give all your energy and your expertise that you've learned. Yeah, I did the tour for like 22 years, so everything I learned going to all these locations around the world, I learnt so much about the place and how to ride the waves.
Like a treasure,
And then I realised I never really thought I was going to be a coach, but then I just kind of was like, wow, I have all this knowledge of all the different locations.
I can give away.
I can give back to the young kids that are trying to, get their dream of being a world champion or just a professional surfer or just do their, achieve their goals. Yeah. And it feels really good to pass on all that knowledge.
And there's so many things the coach can do it, Like you go in a new place, like example, you go Sunset. When I went there, I didn't know how the current go, how to get out the water, try to don't go cameland, without a board, the next to the beach have the reef, don't get out there, because you get cut, watch out for boneyards, the north swell, the west swell, how to, when you lose the board, there's so
much. And it's such a competitive environment now that all the surfers of today just realise they need to have all the information to kind of shortcut some learnings that might lose them a heat, you know. So all the top guys have got coaches here in Saquarema with them.
That's very nice.
And you just, on the day of the contest, you're just an extra set of eyes and ears, checking everything and making sure and giving them confidence if they're riding the right board.
This is very important because the guy have two boards. He don't know which one to go out. He like both, but probably have this. Oh, I like that, but I don't like that. They say no, the other one's better. Go in this one. Keep
For
this.
Sure. I'm lucky enough that I grew up in a surfboard factory, and my dad gave me a lot of knowledge about surfboards, and I feel like that's one of my assets as a coach too, is helping surfers choose which board to ride and educate them on. I like to educate them on fins and why the board does what, not just ride that one because it looks good. Anyone that I work with is, I get the board, I tell them this is why it's doing that. See this part of the board? That's why it's pushing water a little bit. See this foil or the rockers like this? I never just go, oh, no, that one doesn't look any good. This is always trying to educate my surfers why the surfboard is doing what it is so that hey, if I'm not there one day, they've already, you know, they understand what the different boards are doing.
Very good you talk, because I shaped for around 57 years, in a long time. And a lot of surfers, great surfers, they don't know any shit about the board. They just know the board is good or the board is bad, right?
I know, it's amazing how many great surfers in the world just like pick it up and go, oh yeah, feels all right. Oh, the volume feels good, and then they ride it and they're like, oh, I don't like this one. But you know, it's a pretty important thing, because sometimes just changing the fins or telling them to ride it a little bit different, you know, to draw different lines can make a board go really good. So it's a really, really important part of what's going on out there today.
I think talking about boards, the bottom curve is like a personality. Like everyone have a different style, you know, personality. One's more calm, another more aggressive, the other more. I think the bottom curve is that make the big difference in the board.
100%. Bottom curve is really important, and for a hollow wave, for a flat wave, you know, this you're right, Rico. The rocker and the bottom curve, and these days the amount of concave these guys use in the boards too is pretty important. But don't get me started on surfboards. We'll be here. We're here for a couple of days. I love it.
No, that's great. And between two shapers, and your father's a shaper. You know, I start making boards, cutting the long boards with a brown foam. You know,
cutting them down to make short boards.
Make short
That's
boards.
cool.
You know,
That's so
on
cool.
top of the chair. And with the first one, with a coconut, you know, the coconut, no surf form this time, you know.
It's funny, I know I'm very knowledgeable about surfboards, but when I was young, I wanted to go in the factory all the time, and my dad was always like, no, you stay out. He taught me how to fix dings, and he taught me how to, you know, I can fix a broken board, I can put a fin in, I can do all that stuff, but never went in and started making my own boards at any time. He was always scared of the fumes and the
foam dust.
And the foam dust. And I think too, when I was trying to become a professional surfer, he didn't want me to start working in the factory, because he'd like, if it doesn't work out, I can just come here, you know, and work in my dad's factory. So he kept me away from it a fair bit, and it probably one of the reasons why I became a good surfer and being able to ride the surfboards, because he kept me out of there a little bit.
Yeah, you know the Maruba boys? You know, Maruba boys was a tough guys, right?
Bra boys.
Bravo, how you call them?
Yeah, Bra boys.
And I have two good friends. I met them in South Africa, 1975. Tony White, the other guy I forget. You know, and the guy's so nice. And when I went to Australia, we traveled all the way to Surfers Paradise, by Kiha, all the way to Bells Beach, you know, nighttime, you know, and the rocks broke the windshield, and then cold, man. I remember have here all the things for
a scarf and beanie,
good times, you know. And they serve so good, J-Bay, you know. This time I remember Terry Fitzgerald too, beautiful style, you know. I mean, so good memories, you know. And one thing that I remember now, I was talk about Maruba boys. They a little good boys, but a little bit how you say in English?
Crazy.
Okay, could be not as much as I used to. Sand boards, and then I take the fiberglass dust and bring for the school and put on the friends.
Oh, really make him itchy.
So good times, you know, like so I think other thing to remember Australia good is the pubs, you know.
The pubs.
A lot of beautiful girls, everybody drunk, and no fights, you know. I love it, no.
In Australia, everyone enjoys going to the pub and having beers together, and it's a bit of Australian culture that.
Amazing.
It's got to do with I just think that everyone enjoys it and having a good time. I think everyone in Australia enjoys having a good time.
It's right. I say, how's it How's the bloody ways, mate?
How's the bloody ways, mate?
How's the birds, right? Is that right?
Birds.
That's slang from Australia.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
For the beginner, I have a hard time because I learned the English from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Pidgin English a little bit. Your English more English from England, no?
Yeah,
So,
plus Australians have their own slang, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
as you just said, yeah, g'day, mate, what are you doing? And,
Yeah,
you know,
the-
like start, even we go to America sometimes and they can't even understand us. You say some people look like,
Wow.
what would you just say? And you actually got to slow down, get rid of that Australian slang. And,
I'm glad that I understand you well, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember like Larry Batman and great surfer, Larry
Great
Batman.
surfer.
And Terry Fitzgerald. They have the big hair,
Afro, yeah.
like beautiful,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
different style now.
Yeah, Larry Bertelman, one of my favourite surfers, because I love doing laybacks, and Larry Bertelman used to have good layback, like on his backhand, like layback in the tube.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to love Larry Bertelman for them, and I'm a fan of the layback on your backhand. So Larry Bertelman was one of my heroes.
I have a good story of the World Championships in 1972. The Hawaiian team was really good. I remember where Mike Liddell, Buttons, Michael Ho, Ben Aipa was the leader,
Yep.
and he made the swallowtail. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
And the Hawaiian teams was doing really good. So guys with a square tail was cutting in a beach.
No way.
Yeah, you know, like
Making swallows.
So make swallows. Just oh my God, you know.
Yeah, Ben Aipa, what a fantastic board builder. I'm really good friends with his son Akila Aipa.
Akila.
So Akila Aipa, I've been going to Hawaii now for 40 years without missing a season, and on my first 4 days of being in Hawaii, I met Akila Aipa.
He's great.
So I've known him for about 40 years, and then I was fortunate enough to meet Ben Aipa. Ben actually taught me how to watch American football.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Saturday mornings he'd be at Akila's house, and I'd go around there, and Ben would sit there with me and teach. He was the guy that taught me how to watch American
and
football.
He was a great surfer. You
Great
know,
surfer.
strong man. You know.
Great board builder, really good coach too. He coached Brad Gerlach for many years, and some of the Hawaiians, and I had a lot of time for Ben Aipa. He was fantastic.
He was great Alamoana.
Yeah.
He was great Haleiwa. He was great in Sunset, you know.
Yeah.
Strong turns, you know. And he also did the swallowtail. Then he did the stinger, you know. Then he make a step.
Yeah, the step in it. Yeah.
I remember I make a step board for a friend of mine here, Red Dye. Brand new board, beautiful. And the step, he paddling out, broke the board.
Yeah.
You know, because
it makes a weak point, right?
Weak point.
Yeah. Classic.
You know, classic style. You know.
Yeah.
Other guy that influenced me a lot was Cole Smith.
Cole Smith.
Yeah. Cole
The Six
Smith.
Channels.
Yeah, 6 channels.
Yeah,
And I
redhead
saw-
Cole Smith. Yeah.
Which year was that? 70 something.
I think in the late 70s, early 80s, Cole Smith, he used to work in my dad's factory too and make the 6 channels, and I've actually got one of his old boards that he surfed in the 78 surfer bout. I have a 611. My dad actually shaped it for Cole because he was out on the world tour and he didn't have time to make them.
So your father shaped.
And my father shaped him some boards for the 78 surfer bout, you know, in Manly.
Yeah.
And I found the board at an auction once, and I bought it, and I still have the board at home, so it's pretty cool.
I was influenced by him. He has 6 channel, right?
Yeah.
And I make 4 channel.
Yeah, okay.
And he making a tail, and I make it where the concave is.
Yep.
My feeling was the channels work like a concave.
Yep.
You know, and Michael Ho comes second a Duke with my board.
Oh, cool.
Buzz Kerbox, Hans Hiedman, my generation. You know?
Awesome, yeah.
And Rory Russell won in '75 the international contest in Brazil with my board, Stinger.
Yeah, with a stinger.
With the Stinger.
Unreal.
You know?
It's funny, I was on tour, some of my first years on tour, I rode 6 channels too.
Yeah.
Matt Hoy and I from Merriweather, and we rode 6 channels forever. And
goes fast, no?
Yeah, it goes fast. Fast and a lot of grip. Like you could go really fast and turn really hard and they wouldn't slide.
Yeah, can be high on the wave.
High on the steep part of the wave and push really hard and help keep the rail in the water. And I was a fan of 6 channels for a very long time.
All right. Who was your idols for when you were surfing really well, you know, you still surf really well, but when you was competing,
when I was competing, I'd started off. Mark Occhilupo was one of my favourite surfers, and then it moved on to guys like Tom Carroll, Tom Curran.
Tom.
Yeah, I really really liked the way those guys surfed. And then even, it was funny, I was on the tour for many years, and even when I got older, then the younger guys would inspire me, like Andy Ines, Joel Parkinson, who else? Even guys now like Yago Dora is one of my favourite surfers.
Beautiful style.
Beautiful style. He's can do really good turns, and he's just, when he goes in the air, you're just not sure what he's going to do, and I really enjoy watching him surf. So I've changed. You know, sometimes I get obsessed with the way someone surfs, and I really enjoy it, and then I try and draw the same lines. Even today, I'll see someone say, "Oh, I love the way they look there," and I want to try and do that same and do a similar. You know, put it into my surfing.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Always looking for inspiration, and when someone's surfing really good, it makes you feel good, and you're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try draw that line. Or
do you think? I think every surfer have their own style, and so much different. You know, like a Pringa Fint. You know, like you can be the guy surf sunset 800 yards far away, and you look.
Yeah, you can
know
see
who's
who it
the
is.
guy. No?
And you know what I really like about surfing too is, as I was just saying, you watch someone do a turn and they do a certain turn or draw a certain line. When you go and you go, oh, I want to do that too, the same. It never comes out the same because it's your interpretation of the way that they did that line, or they hit the lip that way, or put the tail above the lip, or, you know, when you say you want to do the same, it'll never come out the same as what you see, because it's
impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible, but I really like that about surfing. You can be inspired by the way someone surfs, but then you're going to do it, and it'll have your own kind of DNA in that similar kind of perspective.
Yeah, one guy that we have to talk about, that Mr. Kelly Slater, he's great.
Hey? Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the footage of the cutback he did recently at Kira. I think it's the best forehand roundhouse cutback I've ever seen filmed in the history of the sport. And it just, every single part of it, you have to have a look for it. It's just, he does this roundhouse cutback and goes up into the foam.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it was one of the best cutbacks I've ever seen, and I love that style of surfing. And Kelly's, you know, it's been fantastic that he's been still on the tour, because he rubs shoulders with all these young guys in the locker room, and they're asking him questions, and he's still around. I love that he's still around, but I'm starting to want to enjoy him not having to compete and watch him just surf the way he wants to surf, you know.
He's great, huh?
Yeah, incredible. He's done so much for the sport, and he's just so good to watch.
Yeah, and he did many things, you know, the way he how many years he is on a tour? He was on a tour.
Yeah, wow, he's been there for 20 odd, maybe more. Is it 30 years now? I've lost count. Yeah, it's so many years. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know the numbers.
Long enough, right?
Long enough, but it's a credit to him. He's 51 years of age, and he's still surfing as good as anybody.
And I was helping the WSL location. Commentator in Teahupo, you know?
Yeah.
And he's surfing there with the young kids, with Medina, with Italo, with everybody. It's beautiful.
It's amazing that, like, if the waves are big and good, he can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Like, he can still, Chopu this year, it was like, wow, Kelly could win the contest. Because he's so knowledgeable of that wave that when it gets big and really perfect like that. Pipeline backdoor.
He's still number one, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I have a big admiration for him, and I used to compete with his brother. Look exactly like him on the longboard.
Yeah, on the longboards, right? Yeah.
Nice guy, and he have a beautiful story. And he opened his heart that your daddy used to drink. You know, it's a good example, because drinking is not a good thing.
No,
drugs is not a good thing.
No.
The good things is sleep early, eat well, exercise, be nice with everybody, you know, like...
for sure. It's longevity, you know, you stay healthy, put good things in your body, and you'll feel good. And, you know, hey, at the end of the day, for surfers, we just want to be out in the water for as long as we possibly can. And it's the most healthy thing we can do for us. So that's what we've got to keep doing.
Well, one thing do you surf with Victor Ribas and Guilherme Herdi? Who was the Brazilians on the tour with you?
Yeah, Victor, Guilherme, Fabio. Fabio and Flavio.
Paderazzi.
Yeah. Those guys were ripping on the tour when I was there, so it was pretty awesome.
Fabio
Gouveia, and Flavio Paderazzi.
Fabio Gouveia went to me to Puerto Rico. I come second.
Yeah.
And Andrew McKinney come first.
Oh, okay.
And Fabio was world champion in the most important in the junior division.
In the junior division, yeah.
And I saw him calling his father in Brazil. "Oh, Daddy, I win the contest."
Yeah.
Okay, he looked like he was winning. He was the most important course for the time.
Yeah.
And looked like was a local contest.
Yeah.
Very simple,
Yeah, those guys, they've inspired the Brazilian generations now, like Medina and Adriano. Medina, Italo, they're just taking it to the next level. It's fantastic to see what those guys I was surfing with have inspired just a generation that has just dominated over the years, and it's been fantastic.
Why you see the Brazilians are doing good? Do you think could be because some great surfers like Kelly and many others, the same level, was coming, not finished, that's not right to say, coming down the activity when the Brazilians are coming up, and also they come with the, besides surfing well, a lot of turns, speed, everything, do the aeros.
I feel like the generation now doing so well, passion too, so passionate and working really hard and never stop working to try and improve every aspect of their performance, like their fitness, surfboards, their performance, the performances that they're doing. The Brazilians are just so passionate about doing really well, and I think the momentum and the inspiration that Adriano, when he won his world title, they were like, wow, now we want to get one, and their community's really strong and pushing each other, which has been really good to watch over the years.
I think the Brazilians have blood in the eyes, do you know what I mean? Like it's the only way they can survive over there. It's like jiu-jitsu or fight.
Just so passionate to try their best, and they just won't be happy unless they've left it all out in the water and just absolutely done everything they possibly can to put on a good performance.
Yeah, I'm very proud because when I was young, Brazil did a good job, you know what I mean, was learning, so I'm glad I did a little bit. We have other Brazilians who did. And then come Herdi, Vitor Ribas, Fabio Gouveia, Teco Paderazzi. I think Teco, after Puerto Rico, Teco and Fabio start to run around the world. And besides they surf really good, they was ambassador for Australia, for Hawaii, because they speak English good. So I think they have a big help, beautiful hand to make Brazil come stronger.
Absolutely. They paved the way for the understanding of how to travel and how to understand all the different ways around the world, and even the Brazilian shapers now are making really good surfboards, which has helped the Brazilian surfers too. So it's been great how the community, the surf community here is just, they've always never stopped trying and never stopped trying to improve everything, that's why they're the best at the moment.
I have another thinking, maybe I want to divide with you. I think the waves in Brazil are not so good. Now, we have some good waves, but different the point breaks of Australia, the Bali, Mentawai, Hawaii, Tahiti. So when the guys start to ride good, little beach breaks, he kill it, When he go for the point breaks and for waves, if he have all the things, then he go different. He have the...
I agree with you, and that's why at a young age a lot of the Brazilian surfers are travelling and going and experiencing all the waves around the world is very important. But it's the same even for the Australians. Everyone needs to go to Hawaii and experience Hawaii. Need to experience Brazil if you're going to be on the world tour. You need to be really, really fluent in all the ways around the world and understand the way you need to ride them.
And I think when I was young, surfing was different, the board was different, but I used to do triathlon. I love to be fit, and before was 3 best waves. So I win a lot of heats with better surfers than me. Guys are a lot better than me.
Because you could get 3 good ones.
3 good ones, and plus be fit. The final was 60 minutes,
Yep.
So if you're not in good shape, 40 minutes, you're dead, right?
For sure. Even today, even the energy that goes into riding a wave, and then, even 2 waves, you got to be more radical and put it more on the line, but still, still exert a lot of energy to get those 2 good rides.
What about Andy Irons? You compete with him?
Yeah, I was good friends with Andy. I competed with him. He beat me for the world title in 2000. I got to Sunset Beach, and I had to make the final to get the world title race to get to Pipeline, and I lost in the semi-final. So, I was in a world title race with Andy all the way right to the second last event.
He's a great surfer.
Great surfer, yeah.
And he charged, right? Besides being big rider and everything, he tried the strength, right? He wanted to do some things that people don't do it, right?
Yeah, Andy's philosophy was always like he wanted to ride a 10-foot wave the way he rode a 2-foot wave.
Like a hot dog wave.
Yeah, he wanted to do the same turns that he did on a 2-foot wave if it was 10-foot. And, Andy had a lot of inspiration for Andy surfing as well, and had some great times with him as well, because we were both surfer Billabong, so I did a lot of trips with Andy. And he was... he was great. He was your fiercest competitor, but still on the beach he was your best friend, which is a very good quality to have.
Yeah, him and Kelly was the greatest. Who do you think was the best?
I feel like they were both really good in their own right. Kelly's the best of all time, but Andy Irons, I really enjoyed him, the rivalry that he had with Kelly, and Andy was very determined, and he wouldn't let anyone get in his way of the way he was thinking and the way he wanted to compete, and wouldn't let anyone get in his head. And even Kelly, he wouldn't even let Kelly have any mind games with him or anything, which was great. It was they were good days watching those 2 guys go at it.
And it's good for the sport. The way Kelly talks about Andy, it was very good because one pushed the other, no?
They pushed each other so hard that they ended up pushing everybody that far.
It's important to have somebody better or good as him for you try to improve, right?
Exactly. If everyone's pushing really hard, we all get better, and that's the best thing.
I see the Brazilians competing, and I tried in the last time in Teahupo, I was talking, and then the Brazilian was losing at the beginning of the heat. Say, hey, wait, they're gonna win the heat, and they come 3 or 4 guys happy this, and they call, oh, Rico, hot foot. You know what's hot foot?
Yeah.
So was a good time, know. And how the Australians, the Americans, the Hawaiians see the Brazilians on the tour today. Because I see one thing, the Brazilians see somehow. How the Americans understand that?
I feel like the Brazilians have done such a good job of their camaraderie and helping each other and barracking for each other. I think the Australians and the Americans are trying to do the same and trying to push hard to take over dominance from the Brazilians, and it's just healthy.
But that's good.
It's healthy for everybody that they're all trying so hard to beat each other. All that happens is there's great surfing going down. They put on great shows that get broadcast around the world, and it's really healthy for the sport, for everyone to be trying their best.
I'm not talking about as a Brazilian guy. I'm talking about good for the sport.
Great for the sport. With
because if one don't push the other, One thing I like to tell you, the girls are surfing good. My God, Jesus Christ,
Yeah, Pipeline was just changed women's surfing forever. Like, it was fantastic. I think it was the beginning of 23 or they might have got a chance at the end of 22 to surf at Pipeline. And from the time the WSL decided that they were going to put the girls in waves of consequence to today, us sitting here, they have improved like quicker than the men ever did in any part of any generation.
Fast,
and the young girls today, the way they're charging these waves of consequence and they're learning how to ride these waves, like it's Pipeline's scary. You know, you got to be really calm. You know, you take off on these waves of Pipeline, you got to be really calm and think about what you're doing. And for the girls, how quickly they've managed to do that, it's just a credit to all of them. That Pipeline final this year was just one of the best things I've ever seen in surfing.
What about Chahopo and Tahiri? Beautiful, huh?
Charging, like paddling down the face and taking off really deep, riding the foam ball. Like, it's just incredible to see. Women's surfing, it's, surfing should be so proud of them to what they've done to today.
Yeah, but I think in the last I don't know, 1 year or 2 years, they improved so much more than before. They surf good, but now they surf it great as the men.
And as a coach, it's interesting. I coach Caroline Marks, and always asking me questions, always wanting to learn more than the men. The men are a little bit like, I'm a little embarrassed to ask something that they maybe
want to know.
You want to know? But the good thing about all the women is when you're coaching a woman, she's, hey, what about this? How do I do that? What do we do here? What about this situation? More humble and just want to take the information in. Just want so much information. Yeah. Give me everything. Ask 100 questions, and it's great because it shows that they're learning so fast because of that quality.
Who was the girl who gave the off the lip in Sunset? Incredible.
Molly Picklum.
Oh my God! Yeah. Jesus, I never did that.
No, crazy. Yeah, it's just a credit to them how good they're surfing in waves of consequence.
How is the journey of Caroline Marks you're doing it? Because I'm very proud you're doing this job because she's surfing so good, you know.
Yeah, it was a thrill last year. I coached her to win the world title last year, and we've had a great journey together over the last, say, 3 or 4 years. And she's she just loves to learn, and she's really listens to what you got to say. And it's been amazing working with her. She's a great girl, and we get on really good. And she's a goofy foot as well. So
what about? She's the youngest competitor from the tour. She starts young.
Yeah, she started young. She's 22 now. So.
So we are here
got some problems
beach.
Outside.
Yeah, but that's when you're on the beach in the WSL. You get
another announcer outside.
That's part of the game, right? Okay, so I'm very proud to bring you here because for the admiration and you guys so humble, simple, When I saw you here, you come to talk to me. I recognize you,
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time here, the great time. And I want to know something. What means the Aloha spirit for you?
The Aloha spirit for me is everything. It's being kind to people in the water, being kind to people on the beach. I've been going to Hawaii for many years, and in Hawaii, I learned if you respect the people that live there, they give you the respect back, and that's Aloha to me.
I went to Hawaii in '72, and I get along very well with the Hawaiians. I always respect them, and then when respect them, they respect you.
Absolutely.
And you go surf in a new surf spot, relax, they take the wave. And one thing that I think is important is know their family. Like Michael Ho, I met his brother, his mother, So when you're a family, Hawaiians they enjoy the family.
Yeah, I've learned a lot going to Hawaii for many years is just be calm and be really respectful, and then all of a sudden they'll be respectful back.
Yeah.
And then I learned that at a young age in Hawaii, and I try to take that all around the world with me.
So I want to thank you very much.
Thanks, Rico.
Congratulations for your career. Very nice to have you here. You know,
Pleasure.
Congratulations for all the Australians. It was hot blood. You know,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Mahalo for everything.
Thanks very much. Really nice to talk with you today.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
So, aloha for you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, WSL, to let me, all those great surfers come here in Saquarema, special Aloha podcast. Mahalo.